What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the stimulus package update, stimulus check update, daily news, pretty much everything going on here in our country and in Washington, D.C. Everything that you need to know about on a daily basis, money, investing, the stock market. And boy, there's a lot going on here as they're trying to vote on the stimulus package, the American Families Plan here in the House of Representatives today. And drama is already unfolding in that voting process. We're going to get to that here today. And what is unfolding already in that process and what is going to happen with that. You're not even going to believe what is already unfolding with this process here. And then we're going to talk about what is going to happen with this whole process, the House, the Senate, the package, everything here. There's a lot really here going down here with this whole voting process and everything. So can't even make this stuff up. There's a lot. There's a lot. So we're gonna jump right in here. We got a lot to talk about, but first we're gonna have a word from our sponsor. And I'd like to thank today's video sponsor, NordVPN. NordVPN is a leading VPN service. VPN stands for a virtual private network, a service that protects your internet connection and privacy online. It creates an encrypted tunnel for your data, protects your online identity by hiding your IP address, and allows you to use public Wi-Fi hotspots safely. NordVPN protects you and your devices, making internet browsing safe and secure. The great thing about NordVPN is it's super easy to use. Connect with just one click or enable auto connect for automatic protection. And NordVPN is the fastest VPN available. Plus, you can use NordVPN on up to 6 devices and on every major platform, including Windows, Android, iOS, Mac OS, and Linux. Even your Android TV supports NordVPN. I especially like using NordVPN when I'm logging onto public Wi-Fi myself or logging onto my bank accounts. So protect yourself and your data with NordVPN. Plus, as a viewer of my channel, NordVPN has a special offer for you. Go to nordvpn.com/itsjimmy to get a 2-year plan plus 4 additional months with a huge discount. Or use my promo code IT'sJimmy to take advantage of this special discount. All you gotta do is click the link down below in the description of this video or in the pinned comment of this video. And thanks again to NordVPN. So go ahead and click that link down below to check that out right now. Okay, the House of Representatives is in the voting process here on voting on the stimulus package here today. But there's already some hiccups and, well, check this out. You can see here the House is currently holding what has become the chambers, the House's longest vote in modern history, as Democrats struggle to pass their sweeping social spending bill. A vote on a motion to adjourn was offered by Representative Andy Biggs, a Republican from Arizona, shortly after 8 a.m. Basically, the Republican representative did a motion to dismiss the vote and to just end it. And the vote has been held open for roughly 4 hours so far. Here's the footage of this vote.
Vote in the House in the past has been 2 hours and 50 minutes. This motion has been open a similar amount of time. May I ask how long you intend to keep the House suspended with this vote?
The chair will not serve as historian, and the minimum time for a vote is 15 minutes. Thank you for the question. The chair will not serve as a historian, but the minimum time that the vote has been open or can be open is for 15 minutes.
Further parliamentary inquiry.
Gentleman will state his inquiry.
With one vacancy in the House of Representatives, 217 votes represents a clear majority on your side. The clear majority means that the vote will not change, regardless of who else shows up. It is time to close this vote.
The gentleman has not stated a parliamentary inquiry.
Parliamentary inquiry, is it possible to defeat this motion currently with 217 votes up on the board?
The threshold for defeating a majority vote is a majority vote with a quorum being present.
And with the full number of the House being 434, this is a majority vote. It is anatomically impossible to go beyond 200, to defeat this with 200, more than 217 votes. They don't exist.
The gentleman has not stated an inquiry.
The gentleman has not stated an inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, I would just submit anyone who is up watching C-SPAN at this hour wonders what in the heck the House is doing right now. All the problems we have to solve, and this is the best we can muster.
The gentleman has not been recognized for debate. The gentleman has not been recognized for debate.
So, yeah, the vote has not gone off without a hitch. It is currently in the process of this motion to adjourn. And for some reason, they have left that vote open as they're struggling to, I guess, negotiate behind the scenes on probably a stuck matter. In fact, here is a live feed right now, and they are still on this motion to proceed, or I'm sorry, motion to adjourn. Right now is still open. So, yeah, I think the issue is that the Democrats are stalling right now, and for a reason unknown at this moment. So, we'll have to see here. What the reason could be is this. You can see this headline here. The demands for a congressional budget office score from Democrats jeopardize the Friday House vote, even though they're essentially in the voting process right now. And House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer has confirmed that they will vote today. They're actually in the voting process today, and they've already set the record for the longest vote in history, at least for that one particular vote, which now, I guess, breaks the record. But we have demands from Democrats for a congressional budget office score, which is similar to what Senator Joe Manchin wanted from the Senate as well. You can see here the demands from a handful of centrist lawmakers for a full congressional budget office analysis of the social spending package are jeopardizing the House Democrats' leaders' plans to hold a vote Friday on the legislation. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, a Democrat from Maryland, acknowledged that a congressional budget office score on the bill, which spans more than 2,000 pages, that's how long the bill is. And remember, they just made changes to the bill last night, several different changes that included the changing to the amount of years of the prescription drug pricing, the changes to the salt taxes that we went over last night, and several different changes that the Congressional Budget Office scoring of the bill would not be ready today if they want it. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer says, quote, "We're working on it." So House Democrats can only afford up to 3 defections, 3 no votes from the Democratic Party, and still pass the legislation on their own without any support from Republicans. Remember that not any Republicans are going to vote yes on this stimulus package, and not any Republicans voted yes on the third stimulus package either, the one that had the $1,400 stimulus checks and the child tax credit, those monthly checks to 65 million children, $250 to $300 per month. There is an extension in this package for 1 more year to 65 million children as well, to extend those for 1 more year. And while Democratic leaders had ironed out numerous other policy disputes late Thursday night, including prescription drug pricing and the state and local salt tax deduction, they had yet to resolve moderates' concerns about wanting lots of time to review the legislation's fiscal impact. Representative Jared Golden, a Democrat from Maine, a centrist who represents a district carried by former President Donald Trump, emerged from Pelosi's office reiterating that there should be a Congressional Budget Office score before a vote on the social package, which basically means they would do the math on the bill and say how it actually affects the budget, make sure it's fully paid for, and basically goes over the math of the bill and says that everything is capiche and nobody's pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. Asked if there will be a vote on Friday, Golden says that's a good question. I don't know. Well, they're in the voting process. Whether or not it'll make it to the final vote, well, that's another story. The push for a Congressional Budget Office score before voting on the social spending package is not universal among House Democrat centrists, however. Representative Josh Gottheimer, who's one of the leaders of the Problem Solvers Caucus, who clinched a deal on the state and local tax deduction, which means if you pay high state and local taxes over $10,000, you're now going to be able to write that off, where previously there was a limit. If you paid more than $10,000 on a yearly basis, more than $10,000, you could only write off $10,000, even though you paid more than $10,000 of that. This was a top priority for his state, because New Jersey is a high state and local tax state, urged Democrats on Friday to get on board so that they could vote on both the social spending package and the long-delayed infrastructure package. Gottheimer says it's time to stop delaying and start delivering on priorities to help our communities. With the bipartisan infrastructure bill, the physical infrastructure bill, and the reconciliation bill, the stimulus package, let's revitalize our infrastructure, invest in childcare, and cut taxes for the middle class families with SALT relief, the SALT tax deduction. Gottheimer tweeted, "Let's get this done." Meanwhile, the House is holding the longest vote in modern history for Democrats, as they're probably, it's not that they could close the vote out pretty much right now, but they're not closing it out for a reason. And the reason is they're probably scrambling behind the scenes to probably negotiate on something, is probably the reason. We've seen this happen in the Senate on the third stimulus check package, when coincidentally the Senate broke the record for the Senate's longest vote in modern day history as well, when they had to basically literally take Joe Manchin off the floor in the Senate, and they broke the record for the longest vote in modern day history in the Senate, and literally had to negotiate with him at the very last moment in the Senate. Now remember, they're voting on this in the House. The bill has to pass the House and the Senate. Okay, so remember, if they pass the bill today in the House, the bill's not passed. It has to pass the House and the Senate. Passing the bill in the House is going to be very different than passing the bill in the Senate because of Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. And if they pass the bill in the House, say today, or if it strings on till tomorrow, if they need to get this Congressional Budget Office score or something along those lines, then they're going to pass the infrastructure bill. At least that's the plan right now, the physical infrastructure bill, which will provide billions and billions of dollars to each and every state. Physical infrastructure, roads, bridges, clean drinking water, money for airports, railroads, bridges, everything like that, as well as millions of jobs over the course of the next 8 to 10 years. Money for every single state, lots and lots of good stuff in the physical package that has already passed the Senate. They're literally just waiting to vote on it in the House. Okay, that's literally just going to be a quick vote and it'll pass. That's very different because it's already passed the Senate. It just needs to be voted on in the House, and then it's pretty much done. It goes to the president's office. The stimulus package is different because it hasn't been voted on anywhere. It's in the reverse order. It's going to pass or be voted on in the House first. Once it passes in the House, then it has to go to the Senate, which is kind of the harder deal, okay? Because Joe Manchin in the Senate, he's kind of said that he's not even sure if he's on board for a lot of the things like paid family and medical leave, um, Medicare benefits, which really the only Medicare benefit in there right now is the hearing and hearing aid benefits. Lowering prescription drug pricing is in there as well, which will benefit people on Medicare as well and people on private insurance. This bill is 2,000 pages, okay? So, and remember, they're probably changing it right now, and they're going to go through an amendment process when they're on the floor. So, if and when they pass the bill and they release it in its entirety to the public, then we'll be able to go through it. Now, I'm not a legal scholar, but I go through this every day. But I'll be able to go through news articles and everything like that and be able to start to piece together all the major portions and the minor portions of what's in the bill. And over the course of the next several days, we'll be able to find out this is in the bill, 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 this is in the bill. We know a lot of the major portions that are in the bill, like they're going to extend the monthly checks for children called the child tax credits, $250 to $300 per month. Those checks are going to be extended to 65 million children for one more year. Right now, there's no income restrictions or job requirements on that for children. Child care is going to be in there, which is going to significantly lower the cost of child care. For many low income families, they're actually going to get it for free. For everybody else, it's going to be only 7% of their income will be the maximum amount they will pay, which will be a lifesaver for millions of Americans because right now a lot of families pay 20 to 30% of their income. We've had Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer say that the average family pays $10,000 or more in the United States. So that's $800 a month or more, which would be $200 a week. So that is going to be a significant savings for families. The prescription drug pricing is going to be a significant cost reduction for tens of millions of Americans. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that the cost of insulin is going to go from $600 a month to $35 a month. And for Medicare, is going to have a out-of-pocket cost of no more than $2,000 a year. So that is going to be a significant cap on that, as well as a lot of prescriptions are going to have a reduction on that. Preschool is now going to be for 3 and 4 years old. It's going to be free. It's going to now be just part of schooling, like grades kindergarten through grades 12 are. And there's going to be a lot of different details on a lot of this stuff. There's going to be $150 billion in affordable housing paid for, $25 billion more in rental assistance where the government will literally pay your rent. So, and that is still going on from the third stimulus check package. We have literally had probably thousands of viewers get their rent paid for already. And if you haven't applied for it, I recommend you apply for it. If you're low income, if you've been on unemployment this year, if you are behind on rent, each state has different qualifications, but the two big ones, if you're low income or if you're behind on rent, each state is a little bit different and has different qualifications. But you could literally get your rent paid for anywhere from 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. Each state is different, but there is rental assistance available for all 50 states. And I have a link for you guys in the description of this video and how to apply for it. It's free to do so. It might take you like an hour to do so, but there's links for each different state, and the video in the description of this video will link you or will show you how to apply for it. Again, each state has different like websites you go to apply for it, but that's one of the things that is going to be in this next stimulus package as well. There's going to be $25 billion of rental assistance in there. There's money for senior and elderly care in this next package. We're going to have to see if the $800 stimulus debit card is in this next package as well. And really, there's just so many different things that could be in this next package when they released the text of the 2,000 pages. And just remember that I really don't have any say on what they put in or out of this package. I mean, that's really up to the elected officials. And really, it's up to the Democratic elected officials. Remember, not a single Republican is even voting for this. All the Republicans are voting no, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Not a single Republican voted yes for the third stimulus check package as well. Just so everybody's kind of aware of that, whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing. Um, yeah. Now remember that things can be added in while they're going through this voting process, as well as things can be added in when it goes to the Senate as well. And there's probably going to be several different types of things you can apply for, home energy credits. I believe there is an adult tax credit in this package as well, an earned income tax credit. I believe that is in this package as well. Remember that once they actually release the text, it's like 2,000 pages, because remember, they're still changing the text. They're probably changing the text right now as they're negotiating on it. And that's probably why they're in this longest vote ever, because they're probably still trying to shore up the votes as they're, because remember, they can only afford 3 people to vote no. So they're probably going through kind of like a roll call type of scenario where they're saying, oh, we have 5 people that are going to vote no. We need to negotiate with them, and they're probably changing things. And remember, they also go through kind of an amendment process, kind of a vote-a-rama process. So what the final vote or the final bill is going to end up being, who knows? So once they actually like pass the bill on the House side, and then we start getting information, we start getting the bill, and can actually kind of sift through it, 2,000 pages of legal jargon. And then also remember that there's going to be another stimulus package after this, because this is basically stimulus package number 4, which is kind of, even though it's a very big package and there's going to be a lot of things in this package that are going to change a lot of people's lives and be very beneficial for a lot of groups of people. It's 1.75 trillion or around there. There's going to be another package after this. President Biden has already confirmed, because remember, this package was supposed to be 3.5 trillion, and it's really now around 1.75 trillion, which is about half. So the other half is going to come after this package. So President Biden basically says, let's pass what we can agree on now, this first half. Then there's going to be another stimulus package after this, basically the second half. So they're going to pass the second half basically after this. So they're basically just passing what they can agree on now. Then they're going to come back around for the second half and what they can agree on after this. And maybe there'll be a big Social Security raise in there as well, in addition to the 5.9% cost of living adjustment, which has already that's already set in stone. That's going to happen for the January Social Security payment, 5.9% increase. That's already done. That's already set. But just in the last week or so, we had 2 big Social Security bill proposals that were just released to raise Social Security benefits by significant amounts, hundreds of dollars per month. So that could be included in the next stimulus package. Maybe we'll see something. Remember, the child tax credit, those monthly checks were only extended for 1 year. So maybe in the next package, they might extend that again. They might do something like the monthly checks for children. They might do something like that for adults, low-income adults in the next package as well. You never know what they might do in the next package as well, because the Democrats are going to want to try to hold on to the House and Senate before the next midterm elections, because, well, remember, they just lost that big governor race, and they're not going to want to lose the House and the Senate as well. So they're probably going to want to try to do a lot of transformational things in this next stimulus package as well, in addition to this big stimulus package they're passing now, which is really the first half. They're probably going to want to do a lot of big things in the next stimulus package as well, so they don't lose the House and Senate. They're probably enjoying having the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And Senator Bernie Sanders says that history shows that when one party controls everything, if they don't put up or shut up, that they could lose everything. So We'll see. I will keep you up to date here. The next video, don't miss the next video at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because um, they may have the vote completed. So I will see you then. Remember, new videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe down below, and also make sure to check out NordVPN down below in the pinned comment and in the link down below in the description. You can click here to watch my newest stimulus video next. This bottom video is how to get rent assistance. And this video is that video about the new Social Security raises. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.